Imagine this. You're all set for a cozy movie night, but your smart TV decides to ruin the mood with endless buffering, crashing apps, and loading screens that feel like they'll never end. Sound familiar? That was my reality until I discovered a $45 gadget that completely transformed my streaming experience. But here's where it gets controversial. What if I told you that the solution wasn't a fancy Wi-Fi extender or a messy Ethernet cable run, but something as simple as using your home's electrical wiring? Let's dive in. My smart TV's internet connection was a nightmare. Despite having a blazing fast 1,200 megabits per second plan, my 3-season room, located far from the router and packed with wall insulation and double-pane windows, was a Wi-Fi dead zone. Videos paused every few minutes, apps crashed on launch, and even scrolling through menus felt like a slog. It was less of a smart TV and more of a frustration machine. And this is the part most people miss. The issue wasn't my internet plan. It was the physical barriers between my TV and the router. Running an Ethernet cable seemed like the obvious fix, but the nearest connection point was across the house. Drilling through walls and floors in my 3-year-old home? No way. Wi-Fi extenders and mesh systems felt like overkill for a single device. That's when I stumbled upon Powerline adapters, a clever gadget that uses your home's electrical wiring to transmit internet data. For just $45, this tiny device solved everything, giving my TV the stable connection it desperately needed. Why was my TV's Wi-Fi so terrible? It was a perfect storm of issues. My router is in the basement, while the TV is at the opposite end of the house. Add in the insulation, double-pane windows, and the fact that TV Wi-Fi chips are weaker than those in phones, and you've got a recipe for buffering hell. Even 1080p streaming was a struggle, let alone 4K. Speed tests confirmed my suspicions. I was getting a pathetic 10 to 50 megabits per second in the 3-season room, compared to 800 megabits per second near my Ubiquiti access point. Something had to change. But here's the controversial part. While Ethernet is often hailed as the gold standard for stability, it's not always practical. In my case, it would have required a major renovation. Powerline adapters, on the other hand, offered a non-invasive solution using my existing electrical wiring. Sure, they're not as fast as Ethernet in theory, but in practice, they outperformed my Wi-Fi speeds by a landslide. Setting up the Powerline adapters was shockingly simple. I plugged one adapter near my router, connected it via Ethernet, and plugged the second adapter into the outlet behind my TV. After pressing the pairing buttons on both devices, I was up and running in minutes. No apps, no complicated settings, just plug and play. Within 5 minutes, I was streaming 4K Netflix without a single hiccup. Apps loaded instantly, menus responded smoothly, and buffering became a distant memory. The results were nothing short of amazing. My speed tests now show consistent 500 plus megabits per second in the 3-season room, and the connection stability is rock solid. Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube stream flawlessly in 4K, and even bandwidth-heavy tasks like game downloads work without issue. My once frustrating smart TV now feels like a premium device. But here's the question I leave to you. Is it worth investing in a Powerline adapter over other solutions like Wi-Fi extenders or Ethernet cable runs? While Powerline adapters aren't perfect, their performance can vary based on wiring age and electrical interference. They're a cost-effective, hassle-free fix for many. Let me know in the comments. Would you give them a try, or do you swear by another method? The debate is open,